so much for having me. Hello, I can see some faces that I know. Hi, Ali. Oh my goodness, Patty, I just caught the end of that due to some tech issues, but wow, like so powerful what you were saying. And I feel honored to be following you right now and just full of good vibes and energy with how incredible this summit is. And to be the first speaker for today, no pressure at all to me. So I'm going to get straight into it because I would like to know, now, does everyone know how to use Zoom? Because down the bottom, there is this button called reactions. And if you click on it, you can do clapping, thumbs up, love hearts, laughing emoji, these kind of things. So throughout the day, and as I'm talking, not just me, if things resonate with you, give your speakers some love back so that they can get the energy back as well. Because it's really good for us for us too. Plus, it just creates a bit of fun as we're going along. So I'm going to get straight into it now. I want you to put your hand up virtually if you were a young girl in anywhere from the 1960s, 70s, 80s, or 90s. Who grew up in those era? Because that was a definite me. Yes, yes. You know what? Honestly, it's surprising we aren't more messed up because I was just having a look at really what it was like for us being a young girl. I mean, who could really blame us if we were messed up in our thinking? Look at who our role models were. Cinderella, right? Saved by a prince who, you know, took her away from her dreary life and her evil stepmother that she had. Then we had Sleeping Beauty. Now, Sleeping Beauty, after she was put into this deep, deep sleep for 100 years, she then was rescued by a prince with true love's first kiss. And then we had Snow White. She was saved by 7 dwarves and who else? A prince. And then there was Rapunzel. Rapunzel, you remember her? Roll down your golden hair. Rescued from the wicked witch in a tower by, you guessed it, who? Prince Charming. Now, if you have managed to survive your teenage years, your 20 years, and then maybe got married, had a couple of kids, you'll realize that that's just not reality because there is no one coming to save us from our lives. So whether it's our lives, our finances, our health, could be your shitty boss that you have, there is no one coming to save us. We have to save ourselves. And I believe that right now is the perfect time to do this. So I'm going to share with you a few of my little secrets, little strategies that allowed me to really step into this. And I want you to think about right now what's happening in the world. It's coming up to Christmas. It's 1st of December in Sydney. And so the little elf came out and the kids are all excited and the Christmas lists are through the roof and there is so much to do. And, you know, what are we doing? We're trying to find that perfect gift for the kids, perfect gift for our partner. We've got nieces and nephews, our mums and dads. But what about the perfect gift for ourselves? Like in a year that has been, let's just say, a little bit unexpected, this gift that I'm going to share with you, that if we gave it to ourselves would be the greatest gift that we could give to the world today. And it's kind of like it seems like quite a simple gift, but it has been the absolute cornerstone for me to change my life at any time I've wanted to. So, you know, like I dropped out of school when I was like in year, I think 11. It was so long ago now, who can remember? I grew up on a hobby farm. I then somehow managed to work my little butt off and ended up in corporate. But then I found out I was missing out on so much of my little kids. They were being nannied by someone else. And now, you know, I'm an entrepreneur mom. We're pushing 7 figures in a year and I'm working 20 hours a week. And until today, I've only really shared this gift and talked about it with the women who are in my Wealthy Woman Mastermind, the students that I teach. And I want to share this with you today, because I want you to be able to use this gift to really create a life, no matter where you are right now, a life that truly lights you up. And this gift is all about becoming 100% authentic you. I think that that is the number one thing missing in the world right now, is more women showing up really authentic to who they really are. And if you think about it, there is no one else in the world like you, not one person the same as you, which is so incredibly amazing, really. And my husband probably says, thank God that there's no one else like me. But there's just you. So the thing is that when I say about becoming the real you, I mean the real you. Like, take away the filter and connect with who you really are. And once you do this, it actually becomes so effortless to do things because you're not worrying about what everyone thinks or being liked all the time. And it allows you to just be you and what makes you really happy. And so for me, how I kind of explain this is, it's when you can become 100% completely congruent inside and out. So what do I mean? I mean that what you believe deep down in your soul is aligned to the thoughts that you have every day. And those thoughts are the same as the words that you speak. Like, you don't hold back, right? And what's most important then, you don't just say it, but you live it. You take action and you walk the walk. Now, once you create, for me, when I create this deep level of congruency in my life, it's where I really started to embody everything that I knew, everything that I needed to become. And it allowed me to be calm and confident and focus on the things that allowed me to move the needle of my life into where I wanted to go in the fastest possible way. And that level of congruency, I think it's like that real kind of lining between everything and who you are. It really allowed me to just stop worrying about what everyone else thought of me. And growing up as like the good girl, I was the youngest girl in an Italian family and always wanted, Dad would always say, good girl. If he ever says that to me now, I lose my shit at him. I'm not the good girl. And it was really important because once we let go of that, we can just be us. And imagine if everyone here today just showed up a little bit more like the real us. How amazing would that be? So I own who I am. The good, the bad, the bloody brilliant bits, the crazy bits, my friends call it doing a Sophie, which is where you say an inappropriate thing at an inappropriate time, but they love me for it anyway. Owning who I am. So that's the first one. I want you to think about how can you show up more authentically as you, get really connected to that congruency of, well, what the hell do I really think and believe in, and start living that. The second thing is, I want to see is, and what really changed for me, and I still do this today, is give up the good for the great. And I think some of you may have heard that saying before, have you? Because this is really about, if you haven't, Lauren, I can see a few of you shaking your head. Okay, great. Well, allow me to elaborate. If you really want change in your life, if you really want to live differently, if you really want your life to look different, if you want to have a new job, if you want to buy a house, if you want to move overseas, maybe not right now, but if you want to do those things, then you have to look at, okay, what is it that I can give up right now in my life for the short term, the good things, so that I can make space for the great things. So for instance, I see a lot of people, because I work with entrepreneurs, I see a lot of women, they really want to create a business where they can earn six figures and be around the kids, but they're not necessarily willing to give up some of the good, which is some of the things they're investing their time into. I have a friend who just a side note, I do lots of side notes. I have a friend who watched, I saw her do a post on a mum's Facebook group, and she was asking for recommendations for Netflix series that she wanted to watch. And underneath, she had listed all the ones that she had already watched, and there would have been at least 30. And I was just like, oh my God, I have watched one. So she wanted a different life. I had spoke to her before. She wanted to have a business and she wanted to be there with the kids, but she clearly wasn't willing to give up the good, which for me, I see as things that give you that short-term gratification. Is that the right word? But not necessarily do the work now to create that long-term. Does that make sense, Lauren, now? Yeah. So think about what are some of the things that you can give up or short-term pull back on that will create more space for you. So for instance, for me, when I wanted to invest into my business, like I didn't come from money. Like I said, I didn't even finish year 12. So I had to look at what can I do to create that. So I needed to invest in my skills where I needed money to do that. So I gave up things at the time, like my nails, my hair, beauty treatments, going shopping, dining out, ordering takeaway, all those kind of things. And I focused on doing things, and I reinvested that money into my brain, my knowledge, having the right support around me. And there's nothing that I can see when people are stuck in this trap, and I'll be having a video chat with them and they're fully made up and they've got everything and they're driving beautiful cars and all of this, but they're not willing to sacrifice some of that in order to then get more. Does that make sense? Yeah. So think about, what can you give up right now? And it's not about never having it again. It's just reinvesting that time or that money so that you can have the life, the health, the business that you really want. The third thing is finding the right support. You only have to look at your friends to know what your future is going to be like. Those around you are the most impactful on your life. There's that saying, you're the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So you really do need to choose wisely. So if you want more, then you need to hang around people who have that kind of life. If you want to become a more positive person, hang around more people who are positive. If you want to really get fit and have a six-pack, then hang out with people who love eating celery and working out. Like, you will instinctively become more like them. So if you don't know the steps on how to change your life, no matter what it is, then work with someone who does. And, today and over the next coming couple of weeks through the summit, you're going to meet so many incredible speakers who are probably experts at their own little fields. If there's someone that relates to, you really connect with, and, they're talking your language, and, they're in the area that you really want to grow, then connect with them. And if it was me, I would invest everything I possibly could to work with them, if you're really committed to change. Because when we're committed, we find a way. Remember, give up the good for the great. And the fourth thing, one of the most important things ever, and Ali, who knows me right here, she knows this is my whole mantra, is back yourself. No one's going to be more excited about your life, your business, your new goal to drop 5K, your retirement fund, none of that, than you. So you need to back you first before anyone else is going to get on board. Like, I used to, when I was first starting out in business, I'd go to my husband and be like, oh, I want to do this or this. And he'd just look at me with the weirdest look. And he never gave me the response I wanted, because no one's going to be more passionate about your life than you. And you need to understand that. And that's okay. And no matter what your past has been, no matter what messed up fairy tales you've read at night, you absolutely deserve to be financially independent and to live a life that's full of love, fun, sex, pleasure, riches, whatever it is that you can imagine. You absolutely deserve that. And no one can want this more than you can. Like, I can't go into bat for my clients more than what they show up and do the work. And my wish for all of you today to take away from not only this session, but all of the ones to come, is just to realize how absolutely incredible you all are right now, and own that brilliance, own that voice, own that uniqueness, own the quirkiness that makes us all so incredibly unique, because you are all fabulous just as you are. So let's ditch the fairy tales. Let's become our own saviors, and let's live a kick-ass life based on how we personally want to live. Much love to everyone. Have a great day.